Hello friends and family of YouTube. Well, today what I want to talk about is some things you might want to look for as you're shopping for a new RV or even a used RV. Some things you might want to consider getting an upgrade on, and just some general things that you might want to look for as you're checking out different RVs. So let's get started. Well, the first thing I'd like to talk about looking for in an RV, whether it's new or used, is the frame. If you notice this frame here, it is what they refer to as a boxed-in frame. If you notice, it's completely closed and sealed all the way around, and what that does is that gives it a lot of extra strength. Plus, it does not have an opening for moisture to build up and rust. Let me show you what a non-boxed frame looks like. This is wide open here, and you can see that it has got a plate across the top, but it's completely open in here, and you'll see that that's usually where they hide wires and your propane lines and stuff like that. But to me, I like to stay with a boxed style frame versus this style. Okay, now I want to show you another little secret or tip or trick. This is my RV, my personal one. And if you open this side door here, you can look up under here and see what kind of framing work is being done in certain places of the RV. Now, in this particular point of the RV, what you're looking at here is this is the couch and bed system. So what I see here is I see that there is some press board, but there's also wooden structure versus it being aluminum in this particular point. Now you can open other door areas of RVs. Now mine only has this one access door, but generally you can see whether it's got aluminum or wood, so it kind of gives you an idea of what kind of framing structure that it's built with. And I personally like to see plywood as opposed to this OSB type board, but I also like to see aluminum versus the wood framing as much as possible because it is so much more stronger. But I am aware that my framing up under my flooring is all with aluminum. This wood is only used on this particular model for this couch and bed system. Now the next thing that we need to talk about is your tires. You can look on your tires and it will give you a load rating. My load range on my tire is a C, but what I have done is I have upgraded the size of my tires. I have went from a 13-inch to a 14-inch, and this tire that I'm using now is way higher rated than the 13 that I had before. You can also read up on your tires and see it'll tell you how many maximum pounds that you can carry. Like on this particular tire here, it says I can carry 1,700 pounds on this tire. Well, I have two tires, of course, so that gives me right at 3,400 pounds that I can carry in this RV. Now, I never carry that much weight, so what I like to have is I like to have my tires way overrated for my RV. As I mentioned, I would also like to tell you about certain upgrades that you can get when you are at the dealership. One thing that I wish that I would have done is I wish that I would have upgraded to a two-step entry. You can see that this step stands up so high. Right now it's at about 18 inches high, and you know, I plan on having this thing for a long time, and the older I get, the harder that's going to be to go up that step being up that high. And sometimes, depending on where I park, if I'm on a hillside, that can be almost as high as 2 foot off the ground. So I would like to have a two-step entry on mine. This RV only came with front corner jacks. It did not have any in the back. So I had to get the rear ones added to it. But that was a good move. I'm glad that I did it. It makes the RV sit so much more stable when I have it parked somewhere. Now, up on top of the roof, you'll see a box to the left, that big white box. That is my air conditioner. But to the right side of that white box, that is a vent cover. The great thing about having a vent cover is you can leave your roof vent open and allow hot air to escape. Now, I was recently watching a video of a YouTuber, and he was complaining that his air conditioning could not keep up in his RV. And he has a small RV like this one, but his has the window unit style that hangs out the side of the RV here. And I asked him, I said, "Are you keeping your vent open in your bathroom?" And he said no. Yet he's wondering why he cannot keep his RV cool. Well, it's a simple reason why they put that vent in the RV. It's so that the RV can lose the heat so it can escape out. So that's the whole purpose of it. Even if you have the air conditioning on, you're better off to open that to allow heat to escape. So the other thing that I highly suggest doing is when you get, if you upgrade to having a vent cover installed, if you do not have a max air fan vent or a max air fan on there, I would highly suggest getting the max air fan installed. And another upgrade to consider is getting you a weight distribution hitch system. This one here is made by Reese, and you can see the hitch just goes, of course, into the receiver of the vehicle, and these two bars here will connect to the front of your RV. Now, I suggest using this in a lot of applications, but unfortunately it does not work great in my specific application, because what I have is I have a very heavy vehicle that I load down with a lot of heavyweight stuff, and I have a very small RV. So if I'm distributing weight, what I'm doing in my situation is I'm distributing a lot of heavy weight from this heavy van back to this lightweight trailer. Generally, the case you see is a lightweight vehicle pulling a heavy trailer. That is more common, and that is when I highly suggest getting a weight distribution hitch system. And another thing to consider is talking to your salesperson about getting a warranty, maybe up to a 2-year warranty to cover for your RV, and get some type of roadside assistance, maybe like a Good Sam's Club or something of that nature. But you can also check with your specific insurance company that you use for your vehicle. Like I have State Farm, and it was not very much money at all for me to add a protection set up so that if I was to ever break down on the side of the road, that they could help me out. Which, hey, if I'm out traveling away from home, I probably don't have a lot of friends nearby, so that would really come in handy. Hopefully I never have to use it. Generally on most RVs, you will have 2 doors that are stacked over and under of each other, and that's where your refrigerator is at. The lower area will be where you can have access to the pilot light of the refrigerator, and also the plug where it plugs into the electricity. And up above is an area where you can access the top area of the refrigerator. It's not a bad idea to have a fan installed right here on the inside of that vent cover so that it can blow hot air out. And what this does is it allows air to circulate through here like a vortex. So if you have a fan installed here, it will blow the hot air out. And trust me, RV refrigerators are probably, in my opinion, the worst thing about an RV experience. So you will notice that that is going to be the biggest struggle you're going to find having an RV. So if you can have a good ventilation system for your refrigerator so that it can cool down quicker, it will pay off, trust me. And I am glad that I opened this up so I could talk to you about the water heater, because I have a wasp nest in here. I'm going to have to take care of that. Well, the reason I wanted to talk to you about the water heater is, depending on what kind of camping you plan on doing, you might want to look into upgrading your water heater. My water heater is only propane capable. Mine will not operate on electricity. If you plan on using campgrounds a lot of the time, I would highly suggest getting an upgraded water heater so that you are able to use it at the campground without having to use your propane. So the electric heats up great and the propane heats up great, either one. But if you do get an upgraded one, you'll be able to use either way. You can use electric or propane no matter where you are. In my situation, no matter what I do, I have to use propane. Now I have a couple of things I want to talk to you about relative to the battery. I wish that day one when I bought this RV, I wish that I would have went ahead and got 2 batteries installed, and I also wish that I would have got a battery cutoff switch installed as well. No matter what RV you buy, no matter what company it is, whether it's new or used, your batteries will run down as your RV sits still. And I'm saying basically in 2 weeks you can have a completely flat dead battery. So a cutoff switch, they cost anywhere from $5 to $15, but those can keep your batteries fresh at all times. Once you turn off the access to those batteries, they will sit there and keep the charge that they had whenever you turn them off. So in my case, I would love to have 2 batteries. That way, if ever I'm boondocking, those 2 batteries would be able to keep anything going that I needed to keep going. And if I wanted to add a small solar panel, then I would definitely be in good shape. I see a lot of electric tongue jacks on RVs, and to be honest with you, it may be because my RV is so lightweight, but I'm just going to tell you, I'm trying to be as honest as I can. I have never wished that I had an electric tongue jack. So this tongue jack, as you can see, it just operates by this hand crank manual on here. And I put that block of wood under there, and that keeps me from having to go another 6 inches every time I want to raise it up and down. So that's always come in handy for me, is just being able to throw that block under there, and I don't have to turn that crank but 3 or 4 times, and I've pretty much got the job done that I need to. So it saved me money by not upgrading to an electric tongue jack. And it's just something else that would tear up, and it's something else that would require more battery, and I would rather have that battery for other luxuries as I'm camping. And the next upgrade I'm going to talk to you about actually came from Lowe's home store. What I did is I bought this cordless drill. It's right at $100 at Lowe's and Home Depot, and I put a socket on here, and this socket is a 3/4 inch size, and I can use this to raise and lower my corner jacks under my RV. Now, the reason I'm saying this as an upgrade, you could pay to have electric jacks put under each corner, but it would cost you quite a bit of money. So what I'm saying is you can save yourself a lot of money by just buying this right here. This one drill is going to be cheaper than probably adding 1 jack. You can use this drill in several different applications, and matter of fact, you can carry it in the RV, and that way if you ever have problems with the RV and you need to use a screwdriver or a drill, then you'll have one. Boy, I sure do dread dealing with that wasp nest in there. Okay, the best, I don't know what just flew around my head, whether there's a wasp or what. Well, the best advice I'm going to give you ever on this channel, join every web forum you can join to read up as much as you can on any and all of the RVs. The reason I say join the web forums is you will get to read what other people have said about the RVs that they bought. Say for instance, if somebody bought a 21 FBRS Microlight, they will tell you the things they love about it, the things they hate about it, and maybe some of the issues that they have had down the road. Well, the good of that is when you decide you want to buy that model, you can always ask for that to be done, taken care of, worked on, whatever, before you take it home. That way it's something that's been fixed at the dealership and you don't have to worry about it on your first outing. The other thing I highly suggest doing is buy from a home-owned and operated, locally owned dealership. If you buy from a dealership that has a whole lot of locations across the U.S. that is convenient, that no matter where you are, you can pull into their place and get something taken care of. But me personally, I can't tell you how pleased I was at buying from a locally home-owned company that has they have one location. And whenever I pull in there, if I say I need something worked on or if I've had an issue, they get on it and I get my RV back in a very timely fashion. I have read and heard so many nightmare stories by a place that is, I wouldn't say it's across the world, but it's across the nation, and it sells a lot of camping stuff. And I can't tell you how many nightmare stories I have read, heard, from people that have said they cannot get their RV worked on in a timely fashion. But I'm going to tell you, I took my RV to my local dealership that is home-owned and operated, and I got it back the next day. So, lesson learned from reading what other people had to say about their experiences. So, it never hurts to do as much research as you can, and y'all are doing great by watching videos. And like I say, getting out there and joining some of the web forums would be a great thing to do. Keep watching other videos. I got about 140 of them at today's date, and there's a lot of other great videos from other people on YouTube as well. Hey, I appreciate y'all watching me. I sure do appreciate if you'd hit the like and subscribe if you hadn't done so already. I hope y'all have a great day. Hope to see y'all real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.